Ventures proudly presents living legend and elite level trainer, Ronnie Shields.
Woo! I'll tell you what, man, I'm digging the new intro, Coach Ronnie. Hey, well, I tell you what, let's get a second opinion here from my brother and co-host, Big J.R. Bell. How you doing, my friend? What do you think of the new intro?
Oh, the intro is great. Intro is great. I'm liking it. You know what?
Thank
I
you,
like
my
it.
friend.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love all of your impressions, my friend. Giving me a run for my money. I dig it. But guys, it is Tuesday night. I've been looking forward to this all day because whenever it's a big fight looming, we always want to seek the counsel of the elite level trainer, one of the sharpest knives in the boxing drawer. And that is our dear friend, Coach Ronnie Shields. Ronnie, how you doing tonight, sir?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Oh, my goodness, brother. You've had one busy month, and it's about to get even busier now, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Woo! Gotta love life, brother. Gotta love life. Thanks be to God. Woo! I tell you what, though, guys, this has been, I have to say, I am really disappointed in U.S. mainstream media because all I'm hearing about and all I'm reading about is Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, damn it. And there's no mention of the big one coming up in Saudi Arabia this Saturday night or Saturday day between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk for all the marbles. Ronnie, what is going on here? Are we living in bizarro world?
I think we are, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
it's crazy, but it is what it is.
Oh, man, because think about this. Think about the chaos that was surrounding you guys in Memphis a little over 20 years ago,
Yeah.
right? Think
Yep.
about that. And boy, that's a far cry from what we're seeing this week.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is it because it's in Saudi Arabia and very few mainstream media outlets are willing to take that trek over to the Middle East? Do you think that's exactly what it is?
You know, it could be that. It could be that, it probably, the budget probably not there for them to, take that trek over there. So they have to find something to talk about. Why not
Or,
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson?
oh, boo. Or do you think American sports fans are just sore losers and they're just sad that there's no American representative in that undisputed title fight?
Yeah, that could be true too now.
Yeah, boy, Americans, we're a bunch of sore losers, aren't we?
Listen. Everybody was at the press conference in the Apollo. They were very interested in me and Jake Paul. Okay.
Oh, Chihuahua. You know what? We're going to get to all of that, guys. But Ronnie, how the heck have you been? And is there anything that you'd like to talk about before we start Fact or Fiction, my friend?
Just getting all my guys ready, man. My guy Andre Kaczmarakis is getting ready to fight in this 154-pound tournament that started last week, and it's going to be at the Red Hour here in Houston on May 31st, and he's looking forward to it, and it's going to be some great fights that night also.
I would love to go cover that, but I'm going to be recovering from surgery. Oh, Chihuahua.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll be in bed watching it on DAZN, brother.
There you go.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world, man. Oh, good. So congratulations, Coach Ronnie, in everything you have coming up. You've got Philip with his big date with Destiny with Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois coming up. That's going to be on June 1st, and that's been thrust into the co-main event, really. Because Dimitri Bivol, is he a headliner in any country?
Well, he's a headliner there.
Oh,
He's still a headliner. He's still fighting. So.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I would put him down to at least second or third bout of the evening. Because you know how when you
Yeah.
schedule a card, you usually slate the main events and the co-main event for your big ticket sellers, your big attractions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would demote him down to second or third. Because to be honest with you, yeah, the heavyweight bouts are going to capture everyone's imagination leading up to that fight. And that sensational fight card on June 1st. I can't wait. But James, no better time than the present to get it on with fact or fiction. Come on, Floyd.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Hey, you know, and I'm back in America. I'm back in America, y'all. I'm back in America. Oh, man.
Yay, our campaign of Free Floyd. Buy me a coffee.
USA.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why he's fighting in Mexico. Yeah, got it. Victor Ortiz. Oh my gosh. He's still my heart. What is it with these circus events? But we go with number one, sir.
Here we go, number one. Vasyl Lomachenko's dominant performance against George Kambosos Jr. this past weekend sets up a seemingly imminent showdown with Tank Davis later this year for lightweight unification. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Oh, say it ain't so, Ronnie. Say it ain't so. Oh, man.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't see it happening. I mean, I just know who go across the street. You know, that's gonna be the problem. You know, who's gonna cross the street? You know, yeah, that's I don't see it happening this year, but maybe if Saudi Arabia gets involved, hey, it can happen.
Now you're talking, Ronnie. Now you're talking. Come on, Turkey, baby. Come on, Turkey Alashiki. Come on, Turkey Alashiki booty.
I have a double fiction. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I just. Yeah.
But you know what? You don't. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was like I don't see it either. You know, they've kind of laid out Lomachenko's plans on Top Rank already. We're waiting to see what happens this Saturday with Emmanuel Navarrete and Dennis Berinchik for the vacant WBO.
I forgot about that. That's right.
And
wait a minute. That's coming up in Fact or Fiction. Yeah, I didn't forget about that. But I will say this, though. Plenty of options, but I can guarantee you this. Bob, with all the racist banter that's been coming out of Shakur Stevenson's mouth, there's a reason why he's getting Artem Haratunian. And not Vasyl Lomachenko, not Emmanuel Navarrete. He ain't getting any of that. I can guarantee you that. And he's never going to get anything. He's going to get the redhead stepchild, Bud Crawford treatment, and also the Mikey Garcia treatment if he's not careful.
Yeah.
So what is going on? Well, first of all, first things first, this past Saturday, Vasyl Lomachenko, did he turn back the clock, or is George Kambosos just that limited?
No, I think you got to give Lomachenko his props. You know,
yes, sir.
Coming out the Olympics, fighting for the world title in 2 fights, then coming back and winning it again, and then losing it, then winning it again. I mean, you got to give this guy a lot of props, man. Because with all the amateur fights he had, and with the limited pro fights he's had, this guy, he's world champion again.
Yes.
And I think you got to give this guy a lot of props for being who he is. I mean, he looked so good the other night, the in and out movement, throwing punches, and Kambosos didn't know where the punches was coming from. I mean, he was just stuck, and
yep.
He didn't have a defense for it, and it was just just too many punches coming at him, too many hard punches coming at him, and he was getting hit with them body shots, and eventually in the 11th round, it was just too much for him.
Yep. But I tell you what, he looked like he didn't skip a beat. And that's more than I can say for that damn ring announcer. Oh my gosh. Ronnie, why didn't they hire me and fly me to Australia? Holy cow, dude. I would have done a better job with a Sunday morning hangover. Holy cow. Now, with that said, now think about how far Vasyl Lomachenko has come since making his professional debut, or at least his title, his championship debut. In his second fight in the Alamo Dome, San Antonio, you were there because you were in the main event with Brian Vera, taking on Julio Cesar Mijo Jr.
Yep.
That was back in 2014, gentlemen.
Yep.
So in your mind, what would be, and this was a question posed by your friend and mine, Matthew, right? MVO, most valuable, I don't know, on for the Giants. But anyway, he came up with this. He poses this question, Coach, what is, in your mind, Vasyl Lomachenko's most impressive victory throughout his Hall of Fame career?
You know, for me, I just think the combination.
Would you like me to rattle off his notable wins?
Oh, I wouldn't. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to rattle off his most notable victories. Here it goes. Ready?
Yep.
Gary Allen Russell in his third fight to win the W.A.W featherweight championship.
Yep.
Okay. Next notable one, Roman Martinez. Ooh,
Yep.
Knocked him out in 5. That was ugly. Made him look like bobblehead. Undefeated, moving up to super feather. Nicholas Walters, the Axeman, handing him his first professional loss. Guillermo Rigondeaux, handing him his first professional loss in 2017. That's when he first got the moniker Pinko, because he was making everyone quit. They didn't want any part of that.
Right.
Jose Pedraza, Jorge Linares, Anthony Crolla, Luke Campbell, Nakatani stopping him in 9. Richard Comey, just okay. This is I think his most impressive win, and I'm not ashamed to say it, guys. Devin Haney on May 2023. That's his most impressive victory in my mind. Oh, what? That was a joke, guys. You guys didn't find that funny at all? Come on, guys. I know. He lost that fight. I know. But a lot of people think he should have won. So which one do you think is his most impressive victory throughout his entire career, sir?
I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I thought it was impressive, on Friday night. That could have been for me. It's one of his most impressive wins because he didn't take any punches. His defense was spot on. His offense was crazy, ridiculous, and he couldn't miss. I mean, he was throwing boom, 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 boom. I mean, punch after punch after punch, and Kambosos didn't know what to do. He didn't know whether to come forward or go back. When he came forward, Lomachenko, he backed up but throwing punches. So punches were just, punch after punch after punch, and then when he started landing them hard body shots, oh my God!
Oof.
I mean, it was portrait in motion.
Yes, that was a picturesque performance from Vasyl Lomachenko, and yes, it was very impressive. And considering his age, you could argue, you could make a solid argument that is his most impressive victory. James, what would be yours, sir?
The Jorge Linares victory. His first fight at 135, because for me, it's a couple things with Vasyl Lomachenko. One, him having the extensive amateur career, like he's starting in his professional career late. So when he's there at 126 and 130, that's like at some other fighters' back half of their professional careers. So here at like 135, you already know that he's absolutely topped out as far as like moving up in weight. And I kind of like felt like 135 is like a weight class where he's, as they say in boxing a lot of times, a small lightweight, right? And going up against a guy like Linares at the time that had like a string of victories, good amount of victories up to that point, and is a very good boxer, to his account, and with Vasily Lomachenko coming off of being knocked down in a particular fight and then being able to stop Jorge Linares, I felt like that is his most impressive victory as a pro.
That's a very good argument, brother. And you know what? For my money, though, in my opinion, coming off of that Salido loss, in which he seemed to learn in the immortal words of Manuel Stewart, welcome to big time boxing. He understood what it meant to be a pro, and then coming right back to fight for the vacant WBO title and just dominating Gary Russell Jr. Like, honestly, that spoke volumes in my mind. Well, tomato, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, especially in boxing, guys. Just look at the judges. Damn.
That's right.
So in the mortal words of Big George Foreman, boxing is simply a beauty contest if you don't handle things with your own fist and get a knockout. That's it. And there it is, guys. So let's say hello to our dear friends in the chat before we move forward. But you know what? We're going to revisit this. You know what? Let me just keep this up because we're going to revisit this because I want to get Coach's thoughts. If Tank does fight Vasily Lomachenko, how does he see that playing out, guys? So think about that for a second, Coach Ronnie, like you have to think about all this stuff. It's amazing, guys. It's such a joy to chat with Coach Ronnie every single week because like this is a gentleman who's boxing through and through, and it just rattles off his brain. It's absolutely incredible, and we're all the beneficiaries of your wisdom. Thank you, Coach. So say hello to our dear friend, G Funky Boxing. Greetings to you, my friend. God bless you, brother. And it's good to see you here, and thank you for always supporting the coach, brother. HLD, how are you doing, my friend? Thank you for supporting the coach, brother. And W.A.W, it's going to be one for the ages, gentlemen. I couldn't agree more. Tyson versus Jake Paul is indeed going to be one for the ages. Oh, geez. I'm kidding, guys. That's terrible. SSP Diving, salute to you, brother. And thank you for supporting the coach, sir. Mark, Blake, thank you, brother. And yes, all is as well as can be expected. Thank you, Mark, for the well wishes, sir. And thank you for supporting the coach on this day. HLD says, Ryan Garcia, Mike Tyson, and then it being in Saudi have sucked the air out of Fury versus Usyk in America. Coach, do you think he's onto something there?
Strong possibility.
And there it is. And there it is. Double L says, Loma will most likely fight the winner of Navarrete versus Barancik. It's exactly what you thought. And there it is. Slide Tendencies. What's up, fam? Shout out to Ronnie Superman Shields. You know what? You need to start rolling with that moniker. That has a nice ring to it. And he goes, Sly goes, what was up with the ring announcer's blazer? Was Michael Jackson's chimp having a sale? Oh. What was his name? Bubbles?
Yeah.
What was the name of was his name Bubbles the chimp? Oh, Chihuahua, man. Oh gosh, what's a hot tub without bubbles? Don't ask Michael. And there it is, Slight Tendencies. And he also says, yeah, when he fought Gary Russell Jr., I was actually shocked. He owned him. Yeah, he sure did, man. That was breathtaking. That was when you saw the real potential of Vasily Lomachenko coming after that loss and wanting to jump right into the lion's den, and undefeated Gary Russell Jr. And boy, Gary Russell's special. And that's a gentleman who probably, if you have to look, Coach Ronnie, can you think of another fighter that didn't quite meet his true potential in this fight game?
Man, there's so many of them. I know a bunch of
No,
them
I
that
know.
didn't come up to their potential. I mean,
Yeah.
it is, it's crazy.
Yeah. I tell you what,
It is
one that
crazy.
comes to mind that, in my opinion, two that you trained very closely, David Tua and Vernon Forrest. Those guys
Yeah.
were special. And even though they were at the top of everyone's pound for pound list in their respective divisions, they didn't quite meet your expectation, did they?
Well, I think Vernon did because Vernon he won titles in two divisions.
That's true.
So
That is
so
true.
Vernon did. I think David Tua, you know, just just didn't have the luck, man. To I think if I was disappointed in anybody, it would have to be a guy like David Tua because man, just he should have won the world title, man.
Yeah.
And I just think that putting him in with Lennox, you know, um, it's a crazy story. I don't want to go in. I can go into it if you want to hear it, but
Yes,
you
sir.
know,
Let's hear
but
it. That's why we're here,
so
Ronnie.
so David, David was so pumped and ready for the Lennox Lewis fight. He was like, man, I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna knock him out. And David is from Samoa, and his whole family is Samoan, and
Hmm.
like the father is like the king. They treat their kids a certain way that we don't treat our kids here. You know, but the father's like the king over there in Samoa, and
Hmm.
Mhm.
so his mom and dad came to the fight, and we were eating dinner. Was eating dinner the night before the fight, and his father like shed us in tears and told David he loved him. That
Oh, wow.
broke him. That broke him.
Oh, no.
It
That
broke
took the
him.
mean streak out of him.
It did. It broke him.
Mm.
And I didn't know what was going on. Because everybody's crying and then one of the friends grabbed me, put me aside and said, "Man, it's not good." I said, "What you talking about? What you mean it ain't good?" He said, "In their culture, man, he softened them up because he's never told them that he loved them. He's
Wow.
saying that's the first time." And then the mom started crying, the dad crying, everybody crying, the brother.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in my mind, I said, David, I hate you. I hate you. It was crazy, man. But
So Ronnie's desperately trying to get
Um,
on that ass.
yeah, it didn't work though.
Oh, I tell you what, Ronnie, that story is gold, guys. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
No
yep.
wonder. No wonder.
Yep.
That explains a lot because he was mowing through everyone except for
Yeah,
obviously President Taikai Biabuchi.
I could be a butcher. Yeah,
But the only thing that stopped that guy was the police, the
yeah,
popo, the
yeah,
Yeah,
who's gal.
pretty much.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. But oh my gosh, that explains a lot, Ronnie.
Yeah, man.
I tell you what, guys, we learn something new every Tuesday when we visit with the coach. I absolutely love it. And W.A.W agrees with me. Devin Haney is indeed Vasyl Lomachenko's biggest victory.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, and he says doing that well against someone that big was indeed impressive, especially when you considered he was undefeated and the undisputed champion.
Yeah.
Pigeon Band. Hi, guys. Thank you for supporting the coach on this day, sir. Also, Jose Barrera, thank you, sir, for supporting the coach. He says, salute, coach. I'm going to watch that Diaz Marquez fight later now. That was a legendary fight. Diaz won, even though he lost there. You know what? Can you talk about for a second Juan Baby Bull Diaz? That guy. Now, talk about, we were just talking about not meeting your true potential,
Right.
but Juan Diaz, that was an overachiever.
Yeah,
He
he
was the
was.
definition of it. Can you talk about how special Juan was?
This kid, man, he's so special, man, and he's still special to this day. You know, he's
Mm-hmm.
doing some things for the WPA now, so I see him a lot now. He's always presenting belts now for the WPA, which is good. I'm glad to see him still in the sport in some capacity, But this kid, man, he worked his butt off every single day. You know, I mean, he trained like no other, man, and he, he just, you know, he wasn't a power puncher, but he was he threw so many punches that you had to prepare for that, you know. And being a fighter, man, you have to prepare for a guy that averages over 100 punches around. That's a lot of punches that you have to get away from. And Juan, like I say, he wasn't a puncher. If Juan had a punch to his game, trust me, this kid would still be champion today because of the
Oh,
volume punches that he threw. And if he had power to go with that, oh, he would be a dangerous guy. He
mm,
reminded me of a mini Mike Tyson. Fast, he threw fast punches, but he just didn't have no power on him. But he did enough to win titles in two different weight divisions. So,
indeed.
you know, he was a special guy, man.
The baby bull. The baby
Yep,
bull. I tell you what, though, and you know what? Jose is right. That was a breathtaking fight of the year.
it
And correct
was.
me if I'm wrong, that
It
was
was.
fight of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I think that one was.
That first one was fight of the year. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
at the Toyota Center, the
Toyota
house
Center,
that
yeah.
baby bull built.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Juan Diaz, guys, for all of his athletic limitations, he really made the most of it. He made it a numbers game. He
He
said, you
did.
know what? I know I've got a durable chin, I've got a durable brain, I'm a lot smarter than most people realize that I am, and I'm going to make it a numbers game. I'm going to put guys in checkmate because they're not going to be able to match my output and my volume. They're definitely
Yep.
not going to be able to match my durability. And that's what he did.
Yep. He
It
did.
was breathtaking to watch Baby Bull fight live.
Yep.
It was like a machine gun. It's like guys would fight him bringing a sniper, like a sniper rifle to the ring,
Yep.
and he'd come out with the machine gun and he
Yep.
just over round after round after round until they just tapped out.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible. It was something to behold. Yeah, the baby bull was something special, guys. In the immortal words of John Madden, Juan Diaz, this is just something special. Right up there with Brett Favre, So Slide says, wasn't David Tua also injured during that fight, Coach?
Yeah, he was. Look, you can't make excuses, man, when you decide that you're going to step between the ropes.
Yeah.
David had a rib injury, and he shouldn't have fought that night. There's no way in the world he should have fought that night. But,
Mm,
and just talking to him, he say, man, don't ever make excuses for me, because once you step through the ropes, you gotta, you gotta do what you have to do. And yeah, man, the fight was scheduled for a certain time, and then he got the rib injury, and
mm,
we, you know, I went to the doctor with him and his manager Kevin Barry. So we go
mm-hmm.
to the doctor. The doctor say, "Look, man, you're going to have to be off for about 6 months."
Wow.
And so Kevin Barry called Dan Goosen and told him. Dan flew to Las Vegas, right, and explained to David that if he didn't take the fight with Lennox now, that he wasn't gonna get it.
Mm,
He says, no, in the world you can't do it. You do it in 6 months. He says the most we can do is 2 months. So they gave us another 8 weeks, and
wow.
he couldn't spar for 6 of those 8 weeks, because
Mm,
he couldn't get hit on it. He couldn't touch it, you know,
mm,
and it was a shame. I was so mad, but I couldn't abandon David, you
yeah.
know. I couldn't leave him, because it just wasn't right that he had to go through that fight with Lennox Lewis. As good of a fight as Lennox is
Oh
and
boy.
was,
Yeah.
and and David couldn't throw the left hook the way he wanted to throw it, and because that was the side the rib injury was on, and it hurt him to his heart, man. But he was a fighter, man. He said, "Look, I'm going after him," and he did the best he could, But that's boxing, man. And
Oh
he was
boy.
told that he wasn't going to be able to fight for the championship for the world if he went through if he didn't go through with the fight. And like I said, man, he was very
Uh,
limited. He was very limited in that fight. But not I can't take nothing away from Lennox, man. And that's the thing. Lennox was a great fighter, and but I just wanted to see him fight the 100% David Tua, not the
mm,
30% David Tua that he fought.
boy, that left hook. You think of a sweeter left hook from a heavyweight.
Yeah, but he couldn't crank it up that night because it bothered him
Oh.
every time, man.
Mm,
It was just a shame that they put in his head, they put in his manager's head. You're gonna lose fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. You know, and I kept telling David, even before, look, man, you're in there to win. Give yourself an opportunity to win. If the
mm.
fight is going to come back to you, let it go. Don't let these guys destroy your career. But they talked him into it. And and it's hard to train a guy when you when you when he can't punch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. He could throw straight punches, but that's not David Tua. David Tua was the
Yeah.
bob and weave and coming up with punches. He couldn't do that. He
Yep.
was trying, but he couldn't do it, and he was limited. I mean, he was. I'm telling you, he was only 30% of himself, and he went
Mm.
those 12 rounds. You know, but again, you can't take anything away from Lennox because Lennox was the champion, and he won the fight.
Yeah, I tell you what, to this day, it almost makes me cringe the arrogance of Lennox Lewis. But now when you look back, it's actually kind of laughable, kind of funny, right? The things that he used to say were so ridiculous. I'm a five-dimensional fighter, and no man test. What the hell did that even mean? No man test.
Oh, I'm the greatest fighter. Oh, nobody could be like what?
No man
Yeah,
test. I'm better than the rest. Oh, shut up,
but
Lennox.
I tell you what though, man, the best move Lennox Lewis ever made was hiring Emmanuel Stewart.
Oh boy. Yep. Yep. The trainer of champions. Boy, I tell you what, Emmanuel, and just like you, he lived for that. He lived to find that fly in the ointment, that
Yeah,
red herring, that
yeah,
strategy that was going to win him the fight. Oh man,
yeah.
Emmanuel was special. Ching
Yes, he
yao.
was. Yes, he
And it
was.
was funny. He always had this knack where he would ruin the broadcast. Just dude, I will never forget. And I used to bust his chops about it. I'm like, Emmanuel, why do you insist on ruining the broadcast 30 seconds in? What are you talking about, Joseph? I don't do anything like that. I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm like, dude, you remember the first 30 seconds of De La Hoya, Mayorga? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
No, but I'm
yeah.
assuming you're going to tell me. And I'm like, yes, I am. And he goes, oh, look, see, he wide looping shots. He's got no legs. He punches like an amateur. In fact, I've got some amateur fighters that have better technique than Mayorga. That's the real reason why look, it's only a matter of time before he lands that short, compact left hook and puts Mayorga on his ass. And see, there it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, within the minutes, he ruined.
Yeah,
Now, don't be surprised if Oscar gets him out of here within 4 or 5 rounds. And what was the result? A 5-round knockout. Knockout in the 5th. Yeah, thank you, Emmanuel. And he did the same thing with Hatton and Jose Luis Castillo.
yeah.
Oh man, he's a shot fighter. He's got no legs underneath him. Jose Luis Castillo, he's gonna get knocked out with a body shot within 4 rounds. what was the result? A 4th round knockout by Hatton via body shot.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, guys, was that special. He could see everything coming like a mile down the road.
He did.
Chingao. By the way, he hated my impression of him. Guys, we miss Emmanuel every single day. He was special. Like, everything about Emmanuel was great. Like, everything was good. He didn't have a malicious or mean-spirited bone in his body. But he'd get on that ass if you weren't doing what you were supposed to do.
Yes, he did.
How did you react the first time you saw him chew that ass?
Oh, I laughed, man, because you know.
Because it's almost like a demon got into him.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, guys, Emmanuel was something else, man. So now we have Emmanuel Part 2 right here in front of us. Woo! Because you guys need to take a trip to the Sugarland gym and see Ronnie get on that ass. I love it. Life is good, guys. But I tell you what, so hold on. Champ Ross, thank you for joining us, sir. Yeah, Diaz Katsidis was a warrior.
Yeah, that was a war.
Oh, Michael Katsidis, what a warrior. And then Juan Diaz. Woo! Charles, welcome to the show, sir. Good evening. Who wins, Frank Sanchez or Ajit Kabayel? Wow.
Ooh.
In my opinion, guys, you're going with Frank. No, the Cuban Missile.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a reason why no one wants to pull his name out of the hat. Now, can you imagine if Frank Sanchez picks up a victory over the very impressive Caballel, who looked great in December? Can you imagine if he beats him decisively? Do you think Jared Anderson's going to want any of that stuff?
Yes.
Big baby Anderson? Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh. Let's pray for that, guys. Honestly, for my money, James, I don't know about you, but I would much rather see that than a tentative boxing version of Deontay Wilder. What say you?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there it is. There it is. Enough said. Love the intro music, Joseph. Yes, sir. Had to pick out some cool music for the coolest cat in boxing, Ronnie Shields. Can you share what song it is? Thanks. Share me interview with Fareed Samad, trainer of Kurmo Mutan, from today. Wow. And there it is. Coach, what are your thoughts on the very talented Kurmo Mutan?
Yeah, I mean, he's a young kid, man, but this kid, he can fight. He can go. I just hope they don't push him too fast.
Well, I tell you what, guys, friend of mine co-wrote that song and he played the keyboards on it. So his name is Mike Atkins. So I'll go ahead and list that in the description portion of the show or of the podcast. So thank you, Platinum, for joining us, sir. Oh, here it is. Charles says, I'm curious, what are Ronnie's thoughts on the back and forth that Morrell and Berlanga had in Vegas? Uh-oh.
Well, that's what fighters do, man. It doesn't mean anything because Morrell is basically moving up to 175. He's giving up his spot to Berlanga. Berlanga should get on his knees and pray and thank God that he had to get in the ring with David. David would kill him.
Oh boy, it wouldn't even be funny. Well, maybe considering his mouth. Yeah, it would be kind of funny, wouldn't it, James?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I tell you what.
He's been talking a lot, I tell you that.
Indeed. Man, he puts me to shame, that's for sure. Well, no, I don't know about that. I can talk. So, but hey, I'm sorry. We're going to jump to since we're on that, right? Since we're on that topic, let's go to number 2, right? Let me pull it up here. Oh, my computer. There you go, James. Number 2, sir.
Right. Canelo will indeed honor the mandate put forth by the IBF and defend his undisputed super middleweight crown against William Skull later this year. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Oh.
Woo! Honestly, Ronnie, where did they dig these guys up, brother?
I don't know, man. I never heard of this guy.
Who
You know,
has?
but I saw something where he fought somebody, I forget. And I think one of my guys fought him, and he won a close decision, and my guy knocked him out. And I never heard of this guy, to tell you the truth. And how he get to be, you know, number 1 in IBF, I don't know. But let me tell
I
you
need
something.
to go ahead,
you know
sir.
what?
I'm sorry.
If you go to a purse bid, right? Right? The purse bid is going to probably be maybe $1.2 million.
Well, no. How much change do you have in your pocket?
Yeah, that's what's going to
Do
be
you
the
want the
purse
lint
bid.
too? Do you want the lint too?
So,
Because that's about all it's worth. Dude, how do you now? Once again, I need to ask Daryl Peoples, invite him on the show, either he or Levi Martinez. Well, you're
Yeah.
familiar with Levi Martinez. He's
Yeah,
now working for
both
the
of them.
IBF. You know that.
Yeah,
And
they're
so
both
I
of them.
need to invite one of them on the show and ask them,
Mm.
how on earth do you justify the number 25 ranked super middleweight in the world and give him the number 1 contender status?
Mm.
Yeah.
Now,
Hey,
this is a guy,
it's-
William Skull, who just fought an 8-rounder in his last fight, coach.
Yeah.
Hey, he was at the T-Mobile. That was at the T-Mobile, coach.
Yep.
8-rounder.
Yep.
Right.
8-rounder.
Yep.
But
And
you
now
know what,
he's go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
Joe? The crazy part about it, at least to me, Joe, is that from at the very least a year ago or 12 months ago or so, I thought he was gonna fight one of Salita's guys and Vladimir Shishkin for the actual IBF mandatory, and that
That would make
never
sense.
came to fruition. Yeah, it
That
would
would
make
make
sense.
sense.
Number
But
1,
look,
number 2.
you know, honestly, I'm gonna have to call Dimitri. He's got to be pissed about this because he was hoping that his guy would get the title shot. Yeah,
Right.
I tell you what,
Well,
I would
neither
love
one
to
of them go
see.
get the title shot.
Yeah.
I tell you that. So look,
Oh, can you
let me ask
imagine?
let me ask you a
Go
question,
ahead, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Let's just say that they go to a purse bid, right?
Mhm.
The winning bid is $1 million, right? Canelo go tell them, you know what?
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the
Exactly.
fuck out of here.
So do you want a percentage of 1 million or you want a percentage of 35 million?
Yeah, and there it is. There it is. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that this guy who just fought in an 8-rounder is now the mandatory position for Canelo's crown.
But
Yep.
Oh,
come on, man.
guys.
David Morrell been the mandatory for how long now?
Yep.
You know, never got a shot. So many other guys, look at Benavidez, was been the mandatory, never got a shot. And William Skull is going to come and get a shot now.
You know what? All I have to say about this, Ronnie, Jamal, get him. Woo! Take care of his light work. Come on, brother.
Yeah.
And there it is. And there it is, guys. But I tell you what, we need to speed this along. I'm having way too much fun with my brothers tonight. And yeah, I really needed you guys. Thank you for being here, guys. Number 3, Big James. Uh-oh.
All right. Here we go. Yeah. The New York State Athletic Commission's findings after testing Ryan Garcia's B sample will prove to be inconclusive. As a result, the popular fighter will not be suspended and will get to keep his win over Devin Haney. Fact or fiction?
I'm gonna say fiction.
Mm.
I'm gonna say fiction.
Ooh.
You think
Because
it has
look,
anything to do with Pat English, brother?
it has a lot to do with Pat English.
Yeah.
It has
So,
everything to do with Pat English.
so
You know.
aside from Mike Miller,
Mm.
would you like to educate
Oh my
everyone
God.
on who Pat English actually is in
Pat
boxing?
English, he used to be the lawyer for main events, and this
Yep.
guy, he don't mess around. This guy, he comes with it. He don't play. You
Mm.
know, when he shows you something, he comes with everything. He comes with everything, and you bet
Hmm.
he's bringing everything to the table. So they hired the right guy. The Henry
Yep.
definitely hired the right guy in Pat English. Now Michael Miller is good too, but Pat English is no joke.
No, he's the bulldog.
No, yes he is.
So
He comes with it.
Mike Miller is the logical, intelligent
Yes,
diplomat. But
yes,
Pat English, he's the pit bull, guys.
yes he is. I've been knowing him a
So,
long time.
yep,
He don't
indeed.
play. Michael Miller
Because
don't play either.
you
Mike
you
don't play
got your
either.
start. Yep. So, well, of course not. Ask Don King.
Yeah,
But I will
absolutely.
say this though. If people didn't know, that's where you got your start in this business with main events in the
Yep,
Duvas.
yep.
And so you're very familiar with Pat
Oh
English.
yeah, no doubt. Yes indeed.
And there it is. So this is what he wrote in the letter. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to, if he's going to even wing this. Maybe he's gotten a little arrogant in his older age, but boy, this would be something if he could pull this out of his hat.
Yeah.
So what they're going for, guys, Pat English and the Haneys, they not only want to DQ ruling on this fight, they want a W on
Yes.
Haney's record because of malfeasance.
Yeah.
He says this in his 8-page letter, right? There's a blemish on Mr. Haney's record. He was placed in an unsafe fight under the New York State Athletic Commission jurisdiction. The bout was made a mockery, and in addition to the PED use and prohibited use of the IVs after the bout, Mr. Garcia admitted that missing weight was a tactic to give him an unfair advantage. As there was no second-day weigh-in required by the commission, thus it is impossible to know what he weighed on fight night. This is why, after setting forth the facts below, we request that not only Mr. Garcia be disqualified, which is more fitting than a no contest in this situation, but Devin Haney get the victory. How can you do that, Coach Ronnie? That would be a first.
Hey,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
the first that I know of, that would be a first.
Yep.
Absolutely. It won't
Well,
be a DQ. It'll be a win.
In my opinion, though, Ronnie, I think Mr. Pat English is very intelligent with this strategy. He's shooting high and aiming low.
Yep, exactly right. He's
Oh,
putting
boy.
himself in a win-win situation.
That's it. He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But I tell you what, and so this is what's going to happen, guys. And the reason why I wrote this fact or fiction, because of Osterine, right? There have been, over the last decade, over 70 different supplements that have been contaminated with Osterine without any label. If that isn't plausible deniability and reasonable doubt, I don't know what is. So, guys, stay tuned. May 22nd is right around the corner. And we'll have more answers on that, and we'll definitely have more dialogue, because I tell you what, this is getting juicy. This is almost as good as a prize fight. Almost. Definitely a lot more interesting than Shakur's nonsense. And he's coming up next on number 4, Factor Victor. James, final thoughts on this, sir?
I'll say real quick, good luck to Devin Haney on this, because I think it's just really muddy situation, particularly with the New York State Athletic Commission and how they handled things leading up to the fight and after the fight. And I think their mishandling of things might be able to get Ryan off, but we'll see. But I'm laughing at Adam Lopez's comment.
Oh, wait a minute. My brother Adam is here. Your former fighter, Ronnie. Hold on. Yeah. He says it definitely gets a win. Then for sure, Diddy beats the cases. Oh, oh. Well, maybe he eyed Pat English too.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I tell you what, I need to give a big shout out to my brother, Adam Montequillo Lopez. He did a great job calling the action with me. It was like getting the band back together. We were even trying to relive the old HBO telecasts. And he was doing Jim Lampley, and I was doing Larry. I was doing Max Kellerman. I was even doing Roy Jones. Oh, good body shot. I was even doing that. Excuse me. We had fun in San Antonio calling the action, guys, and it's still up if you guys want to see it. We had a lot of fun, so thank you for that, Adam. And I look forward to many more calling the action with you, my friend. T4 Huskies, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Hold on. Double L says, look at Skull's record. Half of his record consists of fighters with losing records. Shocking. Now, Ronnie, you know the IBF. You know their protocol. Are you shocked?
Oh, I'm really shocked. Absolutely.
Really?
I'm really shocked. Yeah, I am shocked.
Wow, because this is, and look, it's almost like they're throwing up a Hail Mary. You cannot even, do they even have any hope of Canelo honoring that mandate?
No.
So what is their end game here?
Just to get his name out there.
And there it is.
That's it.
And there
That's
it is.
it.
William Skull. Tell you what, cloud chasing, if I've ever seen it. Ronnie's got the beat. And there it is. Number 4, Big James.
All right, here we go with number 4. Shakur Ali Shaheed Stevenson is having to defend his WBC lightweight title against Artem Harutyunyan on July 6th out of necessity, because most contenders or champs currently view him as more risk than reward. Fact or fiction?
That could be a fact. That could be a fact. He's a southpaw. He's a good fighter. And he makes you look bad. Simple. And and a lot of guys, if you don't have to go through that, they won't do it. Just simple as that. But you got to also understand now, this is his last fight with Top Rank too. So, so they're not gonna put him in with one of their top guys and risk, losing. So, they don't know if he's coming back or not. So they're not gonna take that chance.
That's it. So that's why he's fighting Artem Harutyunyan. And by the way, James, that was a very good Teddy Atlas, sir. We love it. But that's why, guys. That's why Navarrete is fighting for the vacant WBO title this Saturday night after the big heavyweight showdown. Dun dun dun. Number 5, guys.
Here we go. Big John John Fury will prove to be of a detriment to his son Tyson Fury throughout fight week in Saudi Arabia and cause him to lose focus on May 18th. Fact or fiction?
That's a fact. Look, this he got cut up the other day. Let's just this is about your son. It's not about you.
That's it.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Nobody paying to see him. Who wants to see him? Nobody want to see John Fury. Everybody only want to see Tyson. Tyson Fury. That's it.
Yep.
And then he comes in and he's bleeding all over the place. Like, look at me. Now you're taking away from your son.
You know what, Ronnie? Can we safely say this? He makes Bill Haney look like Papachenko.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this, Coach.
No.
He makes Teofimo Sr. look like Yoel Judah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I said it. Yeah. Dude, he makes so I keep going, guys. He makes Angel Garcia look like Jack Mosley. Yes, I said it.
That's the one. You nailed it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with this guy? Well, look, I can say this. At least we know now why Tyson Fury is so screwed up. And I mean that in the most respectful way. But guys, come on. The fruit does not fall far from the tree. That's where he gets it. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. So this is bad if you're Tyson Fury, Coach. Yeah. So if you're Javen Sugar Hill Stewart, what do?
Hi. Cover your face.
Oh, that's beautiful. I don't know these guys.
Step on the other side.
Oh, geez. Let's move on to number 6, guys.
All right.
That's terrible.
Number 6. Here we go. Emmanuel Navarrete and Ivan Baranchyk will engage in a Fight of the Year candidate this Saturday night on ESPN, Fact or Fiction.
That could be a fact. That could be a fact. That would be a great
Thank
fight.
you, Bob Arum. Thank you, Bob Arum. Now, let's go back to Shakur Stevenson for a second, Ronnie, okay, before we start talking about this fight. Now, he's since deleted the tweet, but I did a snapshot of it, so I still have it, right? Now I'm getting ready to write an article on it. And he said, Floyd said Bob was racist. Terrence said Bob was racist. And now I'm saying that Bob is racist. He doesn't want a black fighter like me to succeed. That's why he's kept me down all these years. Now, Ronnie, is someone delusional? Jeez. They have given him every opportunity to succeed. How can a fighter think this way?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, man. You know, and it always happens when the contract is almost up. You know, the thing about it is, you know, why would you sign with him if you feel that way? You know, if you feel, you know, this guy is prejudiced, why would you sign with him? Why would you, you know, put yourself in a position to go through something if you feel they're not treating you fairly? Now, I've never heard him say, personally, I've never heard him say that he was being treated unfairly. So, and, you know, he has to understand that when the contract is up and you go back to the table, a lot of stuff you say comes back to that table.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, sometimes you got to watch what you say because, you know, you can't take that back. And they're not going to let you take it back.
I tell you what, Ronnie is a very wise man. And he knows, and he told me this a long time ago, and Emmanuel told me the same thing. I have to go back now 14, 15 years, Ronnie, when we first met. One of the greatest pieces of advice that I ever received in this business. You said, Joseph, you never, ever, ever burn any bridges in this industry because it's a very small community. And you never know when you're going to have to work with that person again.
That's right.
I will remember that till the day I die, brother.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and that's the truth. You never know who you're going to be there working with. You never know.
That's it. That's why you'll never hear Coach Ronnie Shields ever badmouth anyone on the air except for Tim Bradley.
That's right. I don't have to work for him.
Oh, or maybe Joe or Jose Senior. Maybe. But there it is. James, your thoughts
Shakur, man.
before we now your
Oh.
thoughts on Shakur and him digging his own ditch. And let me tell you, does anyone have to replay him his last fight before he gets the memo and understands that it's not Bob being racist?
Well, it's not that, and you know, as far as like him from a marketing perspective, they have put him in multiple chances or multiple opportunities to kind of like showcase himself. Pretty much like started when they had him set up to win the WBO title at what was it, 130 pounds against Jamel Herring. That fight was in Atlanta. I'm like, in Atlanta. That's one thing. I'm like, oh, that was crazy. Now, the other thing is, then they, you know, set him up with the couple fights to be at his home in Newark. And then when he was there at 130, he only had what, 1 or 2 defenses before he could make weight at 130. So move up from that. And then now he's at 135. He has like, you know, another 2 you know, showcase fights there in Newark. So, you know, they've given him opportunities, but you know, my thing with Shakur Stevenson is there are too many hands in the pot when it comes to Shakur Stevenson. It's not just Bob Arum top rank, but it's also Antonio Leonard, and then it's also Jay Prince. And as long as you have 3 different people that's taking money out of your check, of course you're gonna be kind of acting like the way you're acting. So until he gets
gonna blame it on Bob.
Until he gets away from all that, his situation isn't going to get that much better.
Yeah, and don't forget about Uncle Sam, adding him to that list as well.
Yes.
And there it is. There it is. Just like Bernard Hopkins says, there are only 2 things that are certain in this life: death and taxes. Old B-Hop. And number 7, Big James.
All right. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. His massive weight loss will prove to be his undoing on May 18th, and he will get knocked out by Oleksandr Usyk as a result. Fact or fiction?
Okay, this is going to be fact and fiction. Okay, the fiction is this: he's not going to get knocked out. Just the fiction. But the fact is, you know, why would he come in at a low weight? I'm trying to that doesn't sit well with me, because he's been fighting big his whole career. Now I saw a picture of him and I couldn't believe it was him. I could not believe it was him. I was like, who in the hell is that? And it was like, I mean, he was so skinny. I was like, man, you know, he just evened the playing field to me with Usyk. You know, and all he got to do is go look at what Usyk did to Anthony Joshua twice. You know, and what makes him think him being that small is going to do anything to Usyk? It's not going to make him much. It's not going to make him fast. If anything, it's going to slow him down. You know, and at least when he was big, he could put his weight on him. He can't do that now with the way he looks. He looks like a mager dog.
I'm sorry, Ronnie. Can you repeat that last thing, please?
He looks like a mager dog. He does.
And there it is. Oh my gosh, Ronnie. Honestly, I'm getting flashbacks right now of Chris Berger melting from heavyweight to try and compete as a light heavyweight. Honestly, say goodbye to your chin. Say goodbye. Like, honestly, I think he's in serious trouble after looking at him, Ronnie.
Yeah. And it looked like something was wrong with him, man. Because how you lose that much weight, you know, something had to happen, man, that they're not talking about. You know, all they're saying is he wanted to be small for this fight. Nah.
Tapeworm, maybe?
It could be.
Like, James, do you have any theories? Because this makes absolutely zero sense.
None.
I think
Oh.
you might get something where you have a case with Fury cutting down a lot of weight and Usyk kind of like, getting himself solid, for the weight class. So you could see something where Usyk could have a little bit more pop behind his punch against Fury at the condition that Fury could be at. Because he just simply doesn't look like he's at around 260, and that would be the lowest that Fury has been in a long time if he's there around 260 for the fight. So, I'm very curious as to how this comes out.
Look, and I know this sounds terrible, but he looks like he's giving Karen Carpenter a run for her money. Yeah, seriously. He looks gaunt, and I'm being nice when I say that.
He does, man. He looks terrible. He does.
Oh my gosh, he looks like an albino version of Manute Bol. Right? I'm not joking.
He does. He does, man. He's skinny, man. He is so skinny. There's no other world he can have power with that body that he has right now. Where the power coming from?
Yep. That's it. Good luck on the inside there, Tyson.
I guess after the fight we'll find out what happened for sure.
Well, I tell you what. My best theory is tapeworm. Because other than that, it doesn't make any sense. I know Javen didn't agree with this. Do you think this was part of Javen's strategy?
No.
Because Javen's elite. He learned from the best, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
This was not Javen's idea. So I'm giving him a pass,
You don't give
brother.
up your advantage. Why give up your advantage?
Oh, my gosh, Ronnie. This has horror show for Tyson
You
Fury
should have fought
fans.
Deontay like that.
Oh, boy. Woo! Look at here. Ronnie Shields here all week, baby. Woo! You got some zingers tonight, Ronnie. So number 8, Big James.
All right, number 8, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson will quit on the stool after round 5 in the scheduled 8-round contest against Jake Paul on July 20th. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. No way.
I love it. Thank you, Ronnie. Because after watching that press conference, I was like, wait a minute. Is he stoned or something? Yeah, he probably was. Come to think about it.
Hey.
He probably was.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, man. No. Not Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson ain't quitting against nobody, man. No way. Especially against a guy like Jake Paul. Unless they slide on another $20 million under the table.
You know what? They very well may.
He might consider that, Hey, it's not a real fight anyway, so what's the hell the difference?
Bite your tongue, sir, because everyone seems to think it is. But I will say this. Let me pull this up real quick. So this is what, and once again, I'm not going to call him His Excellency, but I'm going to call him Turki Al-Sheikh from the Saudi royal family. He said this. Let me pull up his quote. He said this. And this is Saudi royalty saying this. Please, Brother Mike, quote, please, Brother Mike, forget the script and beat this guy. Okay? F the haters. This is a royal family now. F the haters that are saying this is scripted. Okay? F the haters. Beat this guy to a pulp. Yes. That's His Excellency saying that, right? Ching, yeah. So this is how many people want Mike Tyson to knock out Jake Paul. And I'm sorry, they were watching just like I was. They didn't get a warm fuzzy and a good feeling from watching that. Correct me if I'm wrong, James. Did you see Mike Tyson tickle Jake Paul during the face-off?
I would have saw Mike Tyson. Hey, wait. I would have saw Mike Tyson tickle Jake Paul during the face-off, but there were too many of these media people standing up in the Apollo when they really didn't have to in there. Like, come on. Are you kidding me? The whole the entire press conference, you had a good enough view to see everything while sitting down, and then the time you're gonna get up is when they have the face off, just because you want to get your shot. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Oh boy, I tell you what, guys, and this is boxing today. Ronnie, did you ever think you would see boxing at this state in the American market?
Oh, never ever.
Oh boy. So guys, let's shift gears and talk about some real fighters. Number 9, Big James.
Here we go. Andreas Katsourakis will win the 154-pound tournament and move himself into position to face Seabass Fundora later this year. Fact or fiction?
Oh, yeah, that's a fact, baby. That's a fact. I'm looking forward to my guy, man. This kid,
Oh, well,
you know, he works hard, and you know, and he don't care who they put in front of him. You know, he's gonna be like a train on the track. He's rolling.
I tell you what, guys, if you want to know how tough this gentleman is, go ahead and talk about the fish food poisoning story once again, Ronnie, in case no one heard it before, right?
Oh yeah. So at his fight, right? He ate something, and then we're going into the ring, and he told me, he said, "Man, I feel like I gotta throw up." I said, "What?" He said, "Man, I feel like I gotta throw up." I said, "You okay? You okay? Just, you know." So he said, "Okay." So we get in the ring. I said, "Man, just gotta take your mind off it and just go in and do what you gotta do." So after the first round, he came back to the corner. You know, I grabbed the bucket. I said, "Go ahead, man, let it go." And he did, man. He just kid threw up in between rounds like crazy. I was like, "Oh my God."
Like
Then
Reagan from The Exorcist.
Yeah, he had to go right back out there and came back the second round and threw up again. I'm like, "Man, all right, man, come on, man. You all right now?" He said, "I think I got it all, coach." And boom, he went out there and took care of business.
Guys, Andreas Katz, remember that name. Andreas Katsourakis from Greece. This guy is a future world champion. Yes, indeed.
hey,
From Houston, Texas now. Thank you very much, Coach Ronnie. This kid is a juggernaut. Talk about sparring sessions with Jamal and everyone else at 54. Yoenis Theas, talk about it.
Man, it's like you had a real fight, man. You know, I had to pull these guys off each other a lot.
Oh boy.
I had to tell them, "Hey, man, this ain't the real thing now. Come on. You know, y'all gotta back off. I can't have nobody hurt in here."
Woo! Guys, so be on the lookout. And what was the date, Ronnie, for Red Owl?
May 31st.
May 31st. I'm gonna be watching it from my gurney in the hospital.
May 31st on the dead zone.
And there it is on the dead zone. Yes, I love it.
Would it be moving to position to face Seabass Fundora, or moving to position to face Errol Spence Jr. later this year?
Oh, come on. Dude, Errol Spence Jr. is going to be busy fighting Ryan Garcia in his golden parachute. Come on now, guys. We all know that. Hey, Ronnie, look, can you say damaged goods?
Yeah, I can.
Dude, Andreas Katz would whoop those guys twice till Tuesday. Like, honestly, guys, be on the lookout for Andreas Katsourakis. That kid is special. That kid puts on his hard hat and he goes to work. He goes to war.
Absolutely.
Just be on the lookout for that kid. He's a future champion. And I'm going to invite him on the show next week so you can talk all about it and you guys can get to meet him yourselves.
Absolutely.
Don't take my word for it. You'll know as soon as you talk to him. This kid is all business. All business. And there it is. Speaking of all business, number 10. Fact or fiction, James?
Here we go. Philip Hrgovic will have the most impressive showing on June 1st, as he will stop Daniel Dubois and afterwards call out the winner of Fury Usyk for undisputed. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Guys, honestly, no, I'm sorry, Ronnie, as you were, sir. My apologies.
No, I'm just, it's all facts. Look,
Let
man,
me tell you something, guys.
My guy works
I'm sorry.
hard, man.
Go ahead.
No, he works hard. This guy, he's just ready for the world, man. He is. He's just ready for the world. He wants to, he wants to be heavyweight champion of the world. Him and his wife, they just had their first child together, a couple of weeks ago. And, he's so thrilled and so happy about that. But, Philip is a fighter, man. This is what he does. And he just wants to show the world that he's the best heavyweight out there right now.
And there it is. The Croatian sensation, guys. The Croatian sensation. You're going to see him June 1st. All the skills are going to be on display. I almost feel bad for Daniel Dubois. Almost. I said almost. TM, welcome to the show, sir. He says, you know what? Going back to Shakur, seems like Shakur never steps on the gas when he fights these guys. That Floyd, at Shakur's age, was actually putting gloves on dudes. People forget that Pretty Boy was actually fighting. Ronnie, can you talk about what a dog Floyd used to be?
Oh, man. Floyd has always been a dog. He's always been that guy. Never afraid of anybody. He fought any and everybody. And that's just who he was. And this is why his name is up there now as one of the great pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And, that's just who he is. And everybody can't be a Floyd Mayweather. Shakur has to be himself. But Shakur was a really good fighter, man. I mean,
yep.
This is what he does. You don't become champion of the world by not being a great fighter. And Shakur can go up against anybody. But every fight is not built the same.
Yep. Every fighter isn't built the same. But to this day, guys, among fans, Floyd still doesn't get enough credit for being the dog that he was, both mentally and physically. He didn't get to where he eventually, like all of the accolades that he achieved. He didn't get there by being a patsy. Guys, let me tell you a story. When I was working with Mickey Bay Jr., right, and I covered the Cotto Mayweather fight, most people don't realize that Floyd had the flu going into that fight, right? And because he was going directly to jail after that fight, do not pass go, do not collect $200. He was going directly to jail. He had no choice. He had to go through with the fight. And guess what? He sucked it up with the flu and beat Cotto's ass.
Yeah.
Now, if that doesn't tell you how tough Floyd actually is, I don't know what else will. Ronnie,
Cotto was a bad dude.
Dude, Cotto's a bad dude. Like, that guy can crack.
Yeah.
And especially if you've got that shoulder roll, right? He's got that left hook to counter it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, Floyd is a tough sumbitch.
Yes,
like, he does not get enough credit for being the dog that he is.
No,
and
that's real.
Look, and seriously, guys, go back and look at his career. It's a joy. It was a joy to watch him become Money Mayweather, right?
Yep.
But that was the real joy in watching him get there.
Yeah.
And there it is. Now Double L says this. Seabass Fundora. Seabass. Look, all I can say is this. I love Sebastian Fundora. He's a great guy. And he comes from a very good family. But
Yes,
Ronnie, Andreas against Seabass. What's your prediction, sir?
oh, that's all out. It's all out war, man. Because Honduras not going to back down. You know,
Nope.
so it's going to be toe to toe the whole time. But I like my guy's chances. I really do. I love his chances against Seabass.
There it is. Seabass. I tell you what, man, that's an all action fight.
Oh,
All
yeah.
action
Every
fight,
round,
guys.
every round, every round.
Yep. And you know what? The fans would win on that night. And there it is. So we don't usually do this because he is the most negative person in the chat every time we have a show. But I'll do this today. Marcos Chaz, is the Fury fight on pay-per-view? Yes, it is. And James, is it $60, right? $60?
Yeah, $60. Yep.
Yep. So here it is, Ronnie, and I brought this up with my brother, and you know him, John Scully, the Iceman, great guy. He said, "You know what, guys? Where's the buzz? Where's the buzz for this?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "You know what? I can't see this doing over 100,000 purchases even." Ronnie, do you share his sentiment?
Well, I think in the United States, it probably could do close to that. But, you know, I don't think they're counting the United States on this one.
Yeah.
You know, they're counting everything overseas because nobody's talking about it here. Nobody doesn't care.
Oh boy, what a damn shame.
Now that could be the reason Fury lost all that weight.
Yeah. Woo! I tell you what, guys. But I tell you what, guys, you can catch it with me at Dave & Buster's this Saturday night, guys. I'm going to be there with some of my fighters. Come and watch the fights with me. I'm going to be there as early as 11 a.m. How do you like that? This Saturday morning. Right after the cartoons, I'm going to be watching Dave & Buster's. I'm going to be watching all the fight action with all of my fighters. Well, a lot of them anyway. So there it is. You survived, Coach Ronnie. You survived Factor Fiction this week.
All right.
James, do you have any parting shots or final questions for our dear Coach Ronnie?
Well, I mean, we will see what happens here with this Fury Usyk for undisputed. Looking like the odds are getting real close to being even for this fight. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to turn out on Saturday. And I think the results is going to really shape what happens in the heavyweight division from this point forward. So definitely going to pay attention to this.
Now, once again, guys, we're not Coach Ronnie. Before we actually let him go, you're still in the hot seat, sir. So two things. What is your final prediction for Fury Usyk on May 18th? Yes, sir.
I'm taking Usyk by a close decision.
Now, here's the big one. Who wins if this fight actually takes place later this year? Tank Davis and Vasyl Lomachenko for the unified lightweight crown.
You know, I really like Tank in this fight. And the only reason I like Tank in this fight because he's not going to be like Campbell's. He's not going to just sit there and let Lomachenko just hit him with 1,000 punches and not throw punches back. But the difference is going to be is Tank can punch. Tank can punch. He got good defense, and he loves to throw them uppercuts that I love. So That could be the difference in the fight.
So you have Lomachenko actually winning on the scorecards until Tank puts him on his ass for good.
Absolutely. Take that.
And there it is. Guys, I see it the exact same way. Coach, I'll tell you what, don't argue with Coach. But I tell you what, Big Luke, thank you for joining us from New York, sir. He goes, Karen Carpenter, boy, you're dating yourself, brother. Yes, I am. I'm an old codger. And there it is. Sid UK says, welcome to the show, sir. Fury sells in the UK. Usyk doesn't sell pay-per-views anywhere at all.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a sad truth.
It is.
Oh, boy. And I'll tell you what, you know what? This is a strange era of boxing where we see someone as accomplished and as proficient as Oleksandr Usyk. This guy is an all-time great, and he doesn't sell anywhere.
Yeah.
We're living in bizarre world, guys. We are. That's it.
Yeah.
And T. Sanders, thank you for a great conversation. Thank you for joining us, sir. And thank you for supporting the coach on this day. That's it, guys. We're at the end of the road, 90 minutes in. So, Big James, your parting shot, sir. And where can we reach you?
You can check me out on the website, theboxingsource.net, and on social media. Just look up The Boxing Source.
And there it is. And Big James, I couldn't do this without you, sir. Thank you very much for being here. And Coach Ronnie, your parting shots for our listening audience, sir.
You can always follow me on Instagram at official Ronnie Shields.
And there it is. We are not worthy, guys. The future Hall of Famer and elite level trainer, Ronnie Shields. Ronnie, thank you for always. And I swear, I'm going to be listening back to this show just to hear some more of those David Tua stories. Guys, I urge all of you to do the same. But guys, on behalf of Big J.R. Bell and behalf of the living legend, Ronnie Shields, I'm little old Joseph Herron, Old Man River, and you've been listening to War Week Boxing. Have a great evening, everybody.